In a small apartment in Greenwich Village, New York, there lived two young artists, Sue and Johnsy. They were more than just friends. They were dreamers, united by their passion for art. But one harsh winter, life took a cruel turn. Johnsy fell gravely ill with pneumonia. The doctor gave Sue a glimmer of hope, but warned her. Johnsy's recovery depended on one thing, her will to live. But Johnsy had given up. From her bed, she gazed out the window at an ivy vine clinging to the brick wall outside. With each gust of wind, another leaf fell. And Johnsy, despairing, whispered to Sue, "When the last leaf falls, I will go too." No matter how hard Sue tried to encourage her, Johnsy seemed certain that her life was tied to that vine. In the same building lived an old artist named Mr. Behrman. He was rough around the edges, eccentric, and often grumbled about life. But deep down, he had a kind heart. He had always dreamed of painting a masterpiece, but had never achieved it. One evening, Sue told him about Johnsy's strange obsession and her fading hope. Behrman dismissed it as foolishness, but something about Johnsy's plight stayed with him. That night, the storm arrived. The wind howled, rain lashed at the windows, and the world outside seemed to shiver under the force of nature. When morning came, Johnsy, pale and weak, turned her head toward the window. And there it was, the last ivy leaf, still clinging to the wall. Day after day, the leaf refused to fall. It endured the rain, the wind, and the frost. Its quiet resilience began to awaken something in Johnsy. She looked at Sue and said, "If that leaf can survive, maybe I can too." From that moment, her spirit shifted. She started eating, smiling, and slowly her strength returned. But then, Sue shared the truth. The last leaf wasn't real. It was a painting, created by none other than Mr. Behrman. On that stormy night, the old man had gone out into the freezing rain to paint the leaf on the wall. He had braved the elements to give Johnsy a reason to hope, a reason to fight. Tragically, the cold had taken its toll on Behrman. He caught pneumonia that night and passed away shortly after. But in his final act, he had created his masterpiece. That painted leaf didn't just save Johnsy's life, it was a testament to the power of love, sacrifice, and hope. Friends, this story reminds us that even the smallest acts of kindness can leave the deepest impact. Mr. Behrman gave his life to restore hope to another. It's a lesson in selflessness, in seeing beyond ourselves, and in the courage to make a difference. So the next time you see someone struggling, remember this. Hope is a fragile thing, but it can be reignited by even the simplest gesture. Sometimes all it takes is one painted leaf. Thank you.